What is up, everybody? I am making another video on the mod Ars Nouveau, which is now probably my most favourite magic mod of all time. It is probably also the most overpowered of all time. But anyways, let's get into it. So I've decided to showcase an improved version of Spell Barrage using a little exploit I discovered, and I will have to both apologise and thank the channel Kieran Davies. I think I said it right. Anyways, yeah. Long story short, I was on a server and I found a player using Spell Barrage, and I asked him, "That's a really cool spell," and then he told me he was trying to create the really overpowered spell he saw on Kieran Davis's video, which then he links me to. And I saw it, and I'm going to be honest, I was in a bit of a weird mood. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm bored. Fuck this guy for not sharing this spell. I'm going to find it out on my own without engaging with the community. And yeah, needless to say, I was in a bit of I was really bored and had way too much free time. So yeah, but long story short, I never found it out on my own, and I just decided to give up and go onto Google to look up how to bypass the invincibility frames. I thought he did it using different damage types. It turns out it wasn't different damage types. It was heal, which is why we have heal here, because apparently it allows you to bypass the iframes. I also thought it might have been something with his mod pack. Anyways, enough chit chat. Let me show you what it does and why I am very disappointed with it in 1.20. Oh god, the lag. Now, if you couldn't tell, this is why I don't like it in 1.20. The fucking Magefire blocks. I tested the same glyph, same everything on 1.19, where Magefire wouldn't spawn, and I was able to rack up over 3,000 damage just by clicking it twice. But here, we can barely even get to 2,000 DPS, and I'm pretty sure it's due to the Magefire blocks. And also, the Magefire blocks can damage you, so yeah, overall, not a big fan. It is still pretty powerful, but it's not the most powerful, because the updates kind of killed it. However, we have still got one spell, which is this one, which is Self, Burst, AoE, Sensitive, Chain, Propagate Homing, Heal, Harm, Hex, Amplify. So after I found out that the reason why spells are so powerful is just because there's a shit ton of projectiles bypassing the invincibility frames, I mean, I already knew that I had to create this. However, I was then told by the YouTuber Fleeting Immersion, who I will link in the description, that this spell was already made after I had made it, but the difference being that instead of it being Self, there was one called Overhead, which I don't have because I don't know how you get Overhead. But if you know how to get Overhead, then change it to that. So let me show you why this one is more better. So if you could, I'll freeze it here, but we managed to get 5,000 DPS with that. So that one's the strongest so far in Ars Nouveau 1.20. It's probably, but yeah, that's pretty tough. And I could only imagine it would be even stronger if I did have Overhead, because most of the projectiles went into the floor. But anyways, there is one more I'm going to show, which isn't really an offensive spell as it is a trap. Now this one also lags like hell. So here it is. Projectile, orbit, wall, orbit, 2 splits, snare, heal, harm, and flare. And if you change the colour to all the way down, it will be black and you'll barely see it. So Let's go. Oh god, it's lagging. Okay, we're getting over 1,200 damage, 1,400 DPS. Okay, over 1,400 DPS. And a lot of lag, which is insane. But to point out, it's not really an offensive spell as it is a trap, because as you'll see when I fire it, because it's black you can barely see it, and anyone who walks into it will just trigger a chain reaction where they'll continuously take damage until they inevitably die. So that's pretty good. And also, yeah. So, those are the 3 spells that I kind of wanted to show. There isn't really much else I'm going to go into here. However, I may consider doing a video of me playing through Ars Nouveau, and I will probably show off how I play the game as a sort of guide for anyone who is new to Ars Nouveau, because if I've spoken with people about Ars Nouveau and a lot of them don't want to play Ars Nouveau because there's so much stuff in there, they find it a little overwhelming, which is understandable. So I'm going to simply do probably a follow-up video at some point in the future where I show off how I play Ars Nouveau as a little guide, which I'm going to be calling Ars for Dummies. So stick around for that if you are new to Ars Nouveau and you really want to get into it, but you're just overwhelmed by all the content within. Because I'm going to be honest, when I played Ars Nouveau, I looked up the mod showcases and they were just too busy showing me everything. I didn't even know what to do with half the stuff at the time. It was mostly trial and error. So, I now that I got that out of the way, I'm also going to both apologise to Kieran Davies, I can't know if I got that right, and thank him as well for basically, you know, leading me down the path of finding broken spells that I'm totally sure will not be abused in servers, which will probably result in heal getting banned. Mind you though, it's probably best to ban heal anyways, because there's nothing more annoying than someone just spamming heal on themselves. Just fucking die. Anyways, yeah, that's all I've wanted to get out. So it's not really, so it's a short video, that's all I wanted to show, and yeah, goodbye.